Rebecca Miller of Smoothie King. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for having me, Brett.
Oh, my pleasure. And we're talking about Smoothie King's sourcing protocols. You have, what do you call it? What's your initiative? The
Our Clean
Cl-
Blends Initiative.
Clean Brands Initiative, right?
Clean Blends.
Clean Blends
Yeah.
Initiative. Okay. And what does that mean?
Yeah. So our Clean Blends Initiative is something that we launched about a year or about 5 or so years ago. Our mission is to inspire people to live a healthy and active lifestyle. And so, knowing that that's our mission, we really wanted to make sure that we were blending a smoothie that, people felt good about putting in their bodies. And, at the time we were using a lot of ingredients that we just weren't proud of. We had syrups in our smoothies, artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives. So about 5, 6 years ago, we just made a decision that we were going to remove all the bad stuff from our smoothies and only have ingredients that were clean. And it's been a labor of love over the past 5 plus years, but we're really confident in the smoothie that we have today. We only use whole fruits, non-GMO fruits, organic veggies. So, really just proud of the work that the team has done. Sourcing obviously was a big piece of that initiative. But that's kind of the gist of our Clean Blends initiative.
And have you been Chief Marketing Officer that whole time?
No, I've been here for about a little over a year and a half. So I think I was here for one of the most exciting parts. Last year we launched, we had two big events where within Clean Blends, we launched our no-no list. So the no-no list is about almost 100 ingredients on it that we commit to never having in our smoothies. It grows monthly. We're constantly adding things to it. But that's our list that, the things that we're never going to have in our smoothies. And I think, we are, very confident in that list. It's something that a lot of other, if not any other smoothie chain can say that they do. So that was one thing that we launched last year. And then we also launched no added sugar in many of our smoothies. Sugar is obviously prevalent in smoothies if you use fruit, but a lot of smoothie brands and consumers don't necessarily know this, but a lot of smoothie brands put sugar or added sugar into their smoothies, and they're not very transparent about it. So they kind of hide it on their menu, but we really wanted to make sure that we were not only being transparent, but we were making a smoothie that didn't have added sugar in it. And so late last year, we launched that. So we've got most of our smoothies don't have added sugar in them, and all of our smoothies, you have the option to remove it. And so that was those two initiatives were something that I was here for, and I'm really excited about the work that the team did.
So what are some of the smoothies that do have sugar, and how do you make them in such a way that you can take them out? Are they in syrups or juices or something like that?
Yeah, so like I said, I would say 75–80% of the smoothies that we have on our menu don't have any added sugar in them. We have our menu is divided up into 4 categories, and we call them purposes. So it's really all about, what health and fitness goal are you trying to achieve? So are you trying to manage your weight? Are you trying to have a better fitness routine? Are you trying to just eat better in general? And then what our 4th category is called break time. And break time are just really delicious smoothies, but they're a healthier way to snack. But they, as we were rolling out our Clean Blends initiatives, that's something we heard loud and clear from our guests, is they still wanted to have the option to get a better for them smoothie, but something that tasted great. So we very clearly on our menu list that there's turbinado, which is pure cane sugar,
Mhm.
in those smoothies, and the guest obviously has the option to remove them if they like.
So when you make the smoothies, do you just like add a scoop of the turbinado sugar or not?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I think you'll find, and I think most people don't know this, but I think you'll find that most smoothie chains do that. And like I said, that's why we really wanted to be transparent, that it's something that's actually listed on our menu. And if you go to a lot of other smoothie chains, that's not the case. They kind of hide the fact that they're adding turbinado to their smoothies.
Well, I see a lot of smoothies that have, blends. It has a pineapple juice blend or
Yeah,
something. And I think you guys have some blends, but
we do.
that blend could mean it has different juices, or it could mean it's a
Correct.
juice and other stuff. And
Yes.
so that could be
That that is
whatever.
correct. So we do have juice blends in our stores, but like you said, they are all juice. So it could be one or two different juices in that blend. And juice is an amazing thing. It adds a lot of flavor to your smoothie. But in our smoothies, we're proud to say that they are juice, and we don't have any syrups. No, definitely no corn syrup or any of that in our smoothies.
Although of course juices have sugar too.
They do,
They
yes.
exist naturally. So what you said you keep adding to the no-no list. Can you think of some recent additions to that list?
Oh gosh, off the top of my head, I don't know. I mean, I know we just added several this past month in September, but yeah, like I said, we're always adding things to it. A big part of what my team does is, they really try to stay up to date on all of the different health and fitness trends, and what are consumers demanding? What do they want in their food, and what do they not want in it? So that's why we're always adding things to that no list. Mostly things that I can't pronounce, but we're always adding things because we really want to make sure that we are responding to what consumers are demanding and staying relevant.
So you said this whole Clean Blends initiative is a labor of love. What are the challenges of it?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, this is something we've been working on for about 5+ years. Not only the man hours that went into had to basically redevelop every single one of our smoothie recipes. There were certain things that we didn't like, we didn't want to have in our smoothies, and so we had to remove them, and that meant potentially even removing the smoothie from the menu. And so that was a piece of it. The sourcing or the supply chain aspect was massive. As you can imagine, when you walk into your grocery store, when you buy organic versus non-organic, it's more expensive and oftentimes harder to find. And so that's made it tough over the past 5 years. But even as we introduce new menu items to our brand, we really have to pay and work very closely with our supply chain team to make sure that we are following our Clean Blends guidelines, and working more time into our timeline, because it does take longer to source those ingredients and those flavors, but do it in a way that upholds the standards that we put into place.
Now, if I understood your words correctly, you said all of the vegetables are organic,
That's correct.
but not all of the fruit. You have some fruit that is not organic?
Yes, we are working on getting it to all organic.
It's a journey.
But yes, that is we've been able to get to all of our veggies are organic, and then we're working on our fruits. But all of our fruits are non-GMO, and our whole fruits in our stores.
Well, I mean, I can't think of any fruits that are GMO, but it's good that yours aren't. And so what are some of the challenges of, is it a supply chain issue of getting, I don't know, organic bananas, for example?
Yes, I mean it definitely is partially a supply chain, and just finding it, making sure it's available. We are the largest smoothie chain in the country, so sourcing for over 1,000 stores is it definitely has its challenges, and finding those ingredients that are consistent with our Clean Blends initiative. So that's definitely a piece of it. I think cost is a piece of it. Like I said, when you buy organic versus non-organic, it is more expensive. And so we've had to find ways to, maintain our costs, so that we're protecting our franchisees' profitability, but do it in a way and do it in a way that doesn't get necessarily passed along to the guest. And so we've had to get really creative on that front. But at the end of the day, we believe that we think this is important. Our consumers have been asking for it, and so we know it's the right thing to do. So we've taken on the challenge.
So from what I understand, your pumpkin is all organic, and
It
it's
is.
pumpkin season.
It
And
is.
and I understand that there were some issues with organic pumpkin that you have now resolved. Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, so we're really proud that our pumpkin smoothies, we have them every year, use organic pumpkin. So there's nothing in it but organic pumpkin. And so, I guess fortunately this year we saw some really, really strong pumpkin smoothie sales. We kind of are attributing that to the fact that we use organic, and because of the pandemic, people are more aware than ever of what they're putting into their bodies. They want to be healthy, they want to stay healthy. And so we've seen, not just in the Smoothie King business, but in the industry as a whole, we've seen organic pumpkin become more popular because of the pandemic. And so, we saw in some cases our pumpkin sales were double what they were this time last year. And so we ran through our pumpkin supply very, very quickly. And so fortunately, we've been since able to source some new pumpkin supply. But like I said, between the pandemic, and then we also launched a new oat milk. So we reformulated our vegan pumpkin smoothie with instead of almond milk, we were using oat milk, which I don't know if you know, but oat milk is very, very hot right now.
There
Um,
is.
yeah, we have almond milk in our stores, but our guests really wanted another non-dairy option that was also nut-free. So we launched oat milk this fall and launched a new vegan pumpkin smoothie. So I think between the pandemic and then the popularity of our new vegan pumpkin, we just kind of blew the sales expectations out of the water. And so I had to quickly go and source some new organic pumpkin, which, like I said, isn't as easy just because organic pumpkin is a lot harder to find than a pumpkin syrup or a non-organic pumpkin, which as you I think most smoothie coffee brands are using syrups and things like that to get their pumpkin flavor versus a real organic pumpkin.
So what does the pumpkin come in? Is it come in like a paste, or is it like whole chunks of pumpkin, or how does it?
Yeah, it's a puree, so it's a 100% organic pure pumpkin puree.
Cool. And then I imagine it has pumpkin spice flavors like clove and cinnamon and like that.
Yeah, the smoothie does. The pumpkin itself that we're sourcing is just all real pumpkin, but then we do add yummy spices like cinnamon and things like that, and clove into the smoothie.
Have you had any other supply chain issues during the pandemic? Because there have been a lot of them.
I wouldn't say we've had a lot. We've definitely had, some issues, whether it was because of the pandemic or, weather. But I
Or
wouldn't
everybody
say
eating pumpkin all of a sudden.
exactly. But I wouldn't say that we've had a lot. We have a great supply chain team, and so they've definitely been manageable so far.
So without giving away any secrets, what can we expect to see coming out of Smoothie King in the next whenever, few months, year?
Yeah, well, we just recently launched our vegan mixed berry. So the plant-based trend obviously is very hot right now. And so I think with the combination of launching our new oat milk and then having a couple new vegan smoothies out with pumpkin and mixed berry, we've been really pleased with the results of that so far. Definitely as we get into early next year, everybody's going to be thinking about, the New Year's resolutions, of course. But we've all been kind of in our homes because of the quarantine and because of the pandemic. So people have definitely been gaining some weight, and so and our guests are telling us that they need something to help with that. And so we're definitely thinking through that for early next year. How can we help them to manage their weight better? So we've got something in the works for that. And then of course, we're always thinking about, looking at what are the health and fitness trends out there. So what can we do to make sure that, we're filling those gaps on our menu and offering some new and relevant things for our guests.
Cool. Yeah, I've heard of that weight gain problem being called the COVID-19.
Yes.
Well, Rebecca Miller, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Congratulations on surviving the organic pumpkin shortage and
Thank
getting
you.
through it.
The great
And
pumpkin shortage of 2020.
yes, that will be the headline that everyone will remember in 2020. Uh, again, thanks for taking the time, and great luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks so much, Brett. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.